Plaintiff Keith Russell hired the defendant to do a project for him, but he was unable to complete the job due to his meth addiction. Keith claims while the defendant was working for him, his property kept coming up missing, so he's suing for the stolen property. Defendant Terry Hicks admits he was addicted to heroin for 14 years, but insists he's been clean for a year and a half. Terry denies stealing anything from Keith, and he's countersuing him today for unpaid wages.
Start with you.
Yes, I hired Mr. Hicks to help me on a project.
When?
2017.
Where'd you know him from?
He did a project for me back in 2009 through his father. Basically, I hired his father, then his father hired him.
Got it.
Plaintiff Keith Russell hired the defendant to do work on his home, but he claims the defendant turned out to be a meth addict who stole his property.
What was the agreement? What was he to provide, and how much were you to pay?
Just $100 a day.
To do what?
To help with painting, different things, whatever.
For how many days did you estimate it would be?
I didn't really estimate.
Okay.
It wound up being 18 months.
You had rental property or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Several?
Yes.
All right. Got it. And how did that work out?
It didn't.
Why?
Well, he stopped working. He missed days. He is sick. He's a meth head. He would miss days because he was sick.
When did you determine he was a meth head?
Well, his dad disclosed it to me when I hired him. And
in 2017?
Yes.
And yet you thought you would have a good worker for 18 months.
Yeah,
crystal meth head.
I give him an opportunity, and it just didn't work out.
And it stopped working out how long after you hired the meth head?
Until he quit. I just put up with whatever Mr. Hicks did.
Okay, when did he go bad?
6 months into the deal.
All right, so he did all right for 6 months.
Yeah.
Let me hear from you, sir, about working for it. Let's start with the agreement.
First of all, the agreement was $100 a day. I've never seen any of that. I've done work in this mess.
For 18 months, you've never received any money, sir?
No, I've received money, sir.
What do you mean you never saw any of that?
I've never saw the $100 a day. It's always been a $50 here, or try to pay me when it
Not once have you received $100 per day?
He said, I've never received $100 a day, sir.
Okay. And you say you have given him $100 per day?
Yes, sir. Every day.
Every day that he worked. And he worked, for the most part, every day for 6 months.
Yeah.
Until he went bad. So every day for 6 months, sir, he said he gave you $100. And you say he never gave you $100.
That is correct.
Ever?
Never.
All right. And tell me about the property you're alleging he stole.
Your Honor, Mr. Hicks, being the addict he is, this is when the 6 months come up, things started coming up missing. And I confronted Mr. Hicks about that, and I actually caught him unrolling my wire. And I said, what are you doing? I said, put that back. And just things just come up missing. And he would
Copper?
Yes, copper wire. There was copper for the line sets that are on the outside of the house for the 3 air conditioners. Those were broke off. I've got evidence of a letter from Mr. Hicks's father.
Let's see it.
Stating the fact that he didn't want to badmouth his son.
And copper is the most popular items that drug addicts steal now in resale because they're paid so well. If the house is vacant more than one day, all the copper will be gone.
Wow.
At least in Detroit it will be, and from what I hear, other major cities. In fact, in Detroit, they're getting electrocuted doing so. Sir, you're a drug addict? Let's start there.
Let's start there. I'm a recovering drug addict,
Okay.
14-year heroin addict, Your Honor.
Okay.
I've been clean for over a year and a half now.
Okay, a year and a half? Mm-hmm. All right. And you say this began in 17?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you do these things? Did you steal any of the copper?
No, sir.
What do you think happened?
He's had people in and out of this house ever since I started working for him, so it's hard telling. Maybe he did
you leave the homes open overnight?
Sean had access to, because he would come and go before I'd get there, but also he had access to it. But I asked him last week, I said, when did you take my stuff? He goes, I took your stuff during the day, and he was using my car.
Sir, did you ever tell him you took his things?
No, sir. No, sir. No.
You haven't had a relapse?
No, sir.
In a year and a half?
In a year and a half, sir. I'm on a Betrayal shot.
What is that?
It blocks out all the cravings that I've ever had for any kind of opiate.
Plaintiff Keith Russell hired the defendant to do work on his home, but he claims the defendant turned out to be a meth addict who stole his property.
Do you have any evidence that he told you he took any of your things during the day or anything else?
Yeah,
you say he told you that. You say you never told him you took his things,
No.
right?
No.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, he's lying about what he said. He apologized to me every time.
And this was during your addiction, the allegation he's making.
This is, and I also have evidence here that I loaned him. He needed money for.
Did anyone else have access to the house? Keys?
Just him.
Was there any forced entry at any time?
Well, two people. Both doors were broke into at one time, but they didn't take anything because as soon as they would break in, the alarm would go off.
When was that? What month and year, if you can recall, or season, was the forced entry to the home where the property was stolen? I know you say he did it. I just need to know one of the other times that the door was open.
Yeah, as soon as
open.
And I'm not sure on the dates. They were pretty close together, front door, back door, and I have sensors on both of them. So as soon as they open, the alarm goes off. They leave. So.
And you were there each time they left?
Oh yeah,
the alarm system. Said the alarm went off. You get there and they just walk out the door and you say, the alarm got you.
Yeah,
but
pretty
go
much.
ahead,
Pretty
give
much.
it another try another day because
Try
I have an
door.
alarm.
Try the front door. Yeah.
Those two instances, you came shortly after the alarm came on and nothing was missing.
No, sir, nothing.
All right, and you have no evidence of this statement he made about taking your things.
Him and I communicated. I have pictures of what Mr. Hicks.
Let's see it, please. What?
That he packed up.
How do you know? He said he didn't.
Oh, I know, but he's a liar. He's a liar. He's telling you he's on drugs right now. He's just lying to you. I'm hoping you can.
How do you know he's on drugs now, sir?
Because he looks it.
You're a dope fiend for 14 years and you recovered a year and a half, you still look the same way.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I suspect.
But he apologized to me that he
He's
did
a gambling
wrong.
addict.
He stole things from where he's living. I have my aluminum brake and other items where he lives.
So I'm inclined to believe you because he was in the middle of his addiction. But, you know, I just need more and more. The more you can give me, the better the case is for you.
So basically, I had my aluminum brake over to his house because he was doing the siding and the windows for me. And the brake was at his house, thinking it was secure. So when I started asking for the brake, he's like, someone stole it. And then later, Sean says he needed money. So he sold the brake to...
Is that true, sir?
No, sir.
All right, you never had the brake at your home?
No.
No?
No, sir. No, sir.
And do you have any evidence, any statement?
So how did he do?
Don't ask me questions. Give me answers. Give me answers.
Anyway. So Sean, how did you put the aluminum around the windows?
I didn't put no aluminum around the windows.
Sir, he's denying everything you say.
All right.
He's good at what he does. He did this for 14 years.
Yeah.
I've never, ever in my life been able to catch a heroin addict. Ever. I catch a crackhead pretty easy.
Yeah.
You can catch a crackhead in the lie. You're not going to catch a heroin addict.
All right.
They got so many stories for you, you've never heard the stories that they have for you. Now, you better be glad he ain't giving us one of these stories, but he know I know game when I see it,
and
so
that's
he's
what I was
not going to
hoping for.
disrespect me
That's
with
what I was
one
hoping
of those
for.
stories.
You can see
so
past
he's just
the
going to say no, because he knows if he give me some stories, I'm going to know it's a dope fiend story, and I'm going to throw him out of here. Yeah. So he knows what he's doing. Teach me, how do I catch up a hair around here? Ain't no way to catch him, is it? I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell him. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, sir. You can catch. Bring me a crackhead, I can catch it. Heron, can't catch him. Go ahead, sir. Let me hear from you. Did you take any of the man's property? I know you just going to give me straight answers.
No, sir.
Anything else you want to tell me? No, sir. Right.
No, sir.
Look through closely and see if you see anything resembling what you said, sir. Because I really believe you, but I want to believe you. It sounds right. but I'm just not convinced. So you got to give me something to convince me.
Plaintiff Keith Russell hired the defendant to do work on his home, but he claims the defendant turned out to be a meth addict who stole his property.
Your counterclaim for unpaid wages is for what?
$5,000.
What did he do? How does he owe you the $5,000?
He kept $50 a day out of the $100 a day I was supposed to earn.
For what reason? Did you ask him why he was
yes,
keeping
I've asked him every time.
$50 a day?
Every time I've asked him to explain where my money's going, he wants to beat around the bush and not tell me about it. And I got proof.
Sir, did you withhold $50 from him every payday?
This crackhead left every day with money in
He's
his
not on
pocket.
crack, sir.
Meth head, whatever he is.
That's why you got beat.
Yeah,
you don't
whatever
even know what
he is,
was on.
whatever he is, he left every day with money. He'd lie to his wife, say that he wouldn't get money. His own father said that.
Sir, you have to prove that he's withheld money. You have your proof?
Yes, sir.
Let me see your receipts. What do you have?
Everything is highlighted here.
What is it going to tell me?
It's going to tell you, it's going to give you text messages where he's beating around the bush about it.
Show me that. Show me where you asked him about
everything
withholding your money and what his response
everything is highlighted right there.
3 pennies. Okay, defendant, I mean, you really want to do some math times $50 a day out of my pay for the last year and a half? I think you're way ahead of me owing you owe me. This is you to him. Plaintiff to defendant, you to him. We've already went over the numbers plenty of times. You cost me $13,000 on my refinance because of your lack of performance, but you're a good thief. I can do numbers too, pal, and your numbers don't add up. I think you think I'm a dumb. I'm definitely not, and I'm done talking and texting. All right, he's contesting. You have anything where he admits to owing? He's contesting that he owes you. He says your math is off. You say his math is off. And he won't have anything where they kept notes. All right, gentlemen, I can't help either one of you. No one has proven their case today. So your claim is dismissed and show is yours. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Is what it is.
No words.